Throughout history, battles have been won with brilliance and lost through absolute disaster. How can the most powerful armies on Earth fall without even firing a shot? From freezing armies to fatal miscommunication, today we're diving into 5 of the most catastrophic military blunders ever made. Mistakes that didn't just cost lives, but reshaped the world. In 1812, Napoleon Bonaparte, Emperor of France and conqueror of Europe, made a bold decision: invade Russia with over 600,000 soldiers, the largest army Europe had ever seen. Victory seemed inevitable, but Russia had no plans to play fair. Instead, they retreated, burning their own villages, crops, and supply lines behind them. Napoleon's Grand Armée was stranded in a hostile land with no food and no shelter. Then came winter, brutal cold, blizzard winds, frozen rivers. Soldiers died by the thousands each night. Supplies turned to ice. Horses collapsed. When the remnants finally staggered back across the border, only about 100,000 remained. The greatest army in Europe, undone not by battle, but by snowflakes and scorched earth. A devastating miscalculation. 1854, the Crimean War. British, French, and Ottoman forces are locked in battle with Russia. At the Battle of Balaclava, the British Light Brigade receives a vague command: pursue retreating Russian forces. But the order was unclear, the chain of command confused. Instead, the cavalry charged straight into a valley lined on 3 sides with Russian artillery. No cover, no support, no chance. Out of 670 soldiers, over 270 were killed or wounded in minutes. The courage? Unquestionable. The strategy? Non-existent. The charge of the Light Brigade became legendary, not for victory, but for the sheer waste of bravery. Proof that unclear commands can be deadlier than enemy fire. World War II. September 1944, the Allies launch Operation Market Garden, an ambitious plan to capture key bridges in the Netherlands and punch through into Germany. 30,000 paratroopers are dropped behind enemy lines. The goal? Seize bridges across rivers and canals. But faulty intelligence failed to detect a major threat. German panzer divisions, elite armored units, hidden nearby. The paratroopers are surrounded. Supply lines are cut. The final bridge at Arnhem becomes a bloodbath. Thousands killed, wounded, or captured. It was bold, but rushed. If it had worked, World War II in Europe might have ended months earlier. Instead, poor planning and bad intel turned a potential shortcut into a costly failure. June 1941, Hitler launches Operation Barbarossa, the largest land invasion in history. Over 3 million Axis troops surge into the Soviet Union. At first it works. Cities fall, the Red Army retreats, Germany celebrates. But then, history repeats itself. Hitler underestimates 3 things: the size of the Soviet Union, the resilience of its people, and again, the Russian winter. By October, German troops are freezing outside Moscow, out of fuel, out of food. Stalin rallies fresh troops. Counteroffensives begin. It's the turning point of the war. Like Napoleon before him, Hitler learned the hard way. Russia doesn't just fight back, it freezes you out. The British called Singapore the Gibraltar of the East, a fortress, impenetrable, but its massive guns pointed only out to sea. British leadership believed the jungle behind them was impossible to traverse. They were wrong. Japanese forces advanced overland, through dense rainforest on bicycles, and struck from behind. The British were caught off guard, underprepared, and overwhelmed. On February 15, 1942, Singapore fell. Over 80,000 British and Commonwealth troops surrendered, the largest British capitulation in history. Singapore didn't fall because of brute force. It fell due to arrogance and lack of imagination. What do all these blunders have in common? Overconfidence, miscommunication, underestimating the enemy, and ignoring the lessons of the past. These weren't just battlefield mistakes. They shifted the course of history. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes.